What's going on, Kerry Too Smooth? So today I'm going to be showing you guys a quick, easy way to record. Now, I'm not an engineer. Let me go ahead and preface that. But I'm going to show you some quick, easy ways of how I record. So you probably heard the term DAW. You're like, what is that? DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. So the one I'm going to be using today, the one that I always use whenever I'm doing my home recordings, is Logic. I like Logic. It's user-friendly. It's really simple. So it's easy to kind of work. So usually I like the live room stack. I go over here, I select whatever amp that I want. I select the live room stack. Then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the BPMs or the tempo. So I'm using 64 beats per measure, right? Then I'll use a count in, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know exactly when I'm going to start. But I have to make sure also that I'm clicking this to keep the tempo while I'm recording. So as you hear this, if that's not clicked, then you don't hear anything. So you're kind of guessing. So when your records may be all over the place. It's kind of like a heartbeat. You want to make sure your heartbeat is regular, not irregular, okay? All right, so let's get in. So typically when I'm working on just kind of like some reference tracks, I usually do 3 parts. And I pan them hard left, I pan one hard right, and I kind of have one kind of offset, maybe a little bit to the right, to the left, just to kind of do whatever. So here's an example of what I'm doing to record, just so you guys have a brief overview. So the first things first, I'm gonna record. All right, I'm gonna hit the thing. So 4 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go ahead and start recording. So. Okay, so that's my first one. I usually typically like to go 4 bars because I like to create a loop and just to kind of see what it feels like before I started getting too into it, right? So I put on the looper so that way we can kind of keep it going. And what I'm gonna do for this one, that helps me to vibe. All right, so now I'm gonna open up another track. So I hit this plus sign, guitar, bass. Then like I said, I'm going back and I'm gonna get the live room stack because that's what I like, okay? Now, while I'm hearing that verse, I'm gonna work on another progression. So since I'm in the key of F major, I kind of know what I want to do. All right, so I like that kind of vibe. So now I'm gonna go and I'm actually gonna record it. So I'm gonna take the looper off, make sure I start all the way back at the beginning, and then I'm gonna hit the record button. All right, so now I'm gonna hit the looper button again so I can hear how it sounds together. Now I'm gonna start panning. Okay, so I like that vibe. So now what I'm gonna do now is I like to create a top line, kind of like a melody. So if a singer or a writer is working with this, they kind of know the melody that I have in mind. Again, I click the plus sign again. I gotta go back and make sure I select the right kind of amp for myself. You can pick any kind of amp that you feel like works with you. This is what I typically like. Again, you don't have to be a carbon copy. You can do whatever you like, but it's just an idea, okay? So now I'm gonna go back, hit the space bar again. Now I wanna kind of create a top line melody. So I have an idea, so now I'm just gonna try to record it. I'm gonna take the looper off, make sure I set it all the way back to the beginning, and then here we go. 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna stop it, put the looper back on. So that is just a quick overview. Again, like I said, this is just like a good kind of snapshot how you can start to record. This is not the end all be all. You can go 50 million different places with different kind of, ways that you want to record. Now, this Logic is not the only DAWs you can use. You have Pro Tools, you have Ableton, there's plenty of them. You have to find one that suits you best. Once you find the one that suits you best, start figuring out different ways in order to kind of record. Don't make it more complicated than what it needs to be. You don't have to be the world's best engineer in order to record yourself, because you can do it. You can have a lot of fun. So this is just a snapshot. Hopefully you like this lesson. If you do, please subscribe and click this bell to be notified whenever we're dropping a new video. All right, love you.
To get more help with your guitar journeys, watch these videos.